Hey everybody, Jeff here again. I got the terrain back in the driveway. I did the back hatch just over a week ago. I'm going to start work on these corners that I mentioned in the first video. I'll show you the back. It's dirty, but ended up the end of the video. It didn't look like it was going to match up, but it did flow out. There's not too much peel in it. A little buff probably wouldn't hurt. This vehicle seems to have a really nice finish on it. Very reflective. But I'm gonna get started here. There's a small dent here, and this got buckled in here, so I'm gonna get this pulled out and get this ground off. All right, I'm gonna start with a very basic tool, which is a claw hammer, and try to pull the crease in here down, and then hook in behind here and pull this front corner out. Alright, I did what I said I was going to do. I took the claw hammer. I got up inside here, right here, where this paint's coming off. This was all buckled in. It's supposed to be kind of flat. So even just by pulling this back out, the fender automatically started to regain its shape. This bump sucked itself back in, and this portion of the dent here is already started to straighten itself back out. So I think if I just get in behind here with the claw hammer again, like I said, and just pull straight out, I should be able to pretty much regain this body line. Alright, just by using the claw hammer and I ended up getting a small flat screwdriver, I've pretty much straightened out the fender here well enough. It's ready to grind down, put a little filler on, and of course by jamming the claw hammer up in there, I got a couple of little tip marks here on the edge. I'll knock them out with the grinder, but there's a little crease up here, unless I actually pull the skirt off or whatever. But I'm just going to put a little skim of filler in there, bring that back into contour. So I'm going to work on the fender portion first, and then fix up the bumper cover second. Gonna hit the repair area with the 2-inch roll lock. I got a 50 grit on here. I'm gonna hit the rusty spots there around the lip of the bumper, or the lip of the fender here. I got the other two fenders taped off as well, so I don't hit adjacent panels, and I'm gonna knock the rust out of them too. Alright, I got the major repair area all ground back here. I got to sand that out with the DA a little bit around the edge, no big deal. And get in this dent. That dent's got to get filled up. But even down over here, I found another spot that stone chip needed ground out, and down there. Even at the bottom of this molding, I didn't know how this came off. I could probably look it up, but I'm just going to work down, put a couple extra layers of tape on there just to protect. Okay, I went around all my repair spots with 80 grit on the DA. Did the same over here. I'll show you. Same over here. Hit these spots with the grinder and then the DA. And up over here, there's a little dent there, so I just I hit it with the DA sander. I can see right where it is. I just put a little fine filler in there. Yeah, I'm going to wipe this down with some wax and grease remover on the repair areas, and then get out the rust treatment. Okay, I got the rust check, rust converter spray, aerosol spray. Nothing fancy about this. You just got to get a little on there, and you don't want it all over the paint, so just a little simple little strip of cardboard. Just a little dab on there like that. Doesn't take a whole bunch. And up inside here, got my fine filler on here and here, and over here. Okay, it's later in the day now, getting into the evening. The sun's starting to go down. It's nice and cool out now. I got some 80 grit on the DURABLOCK. Let the block do the work for you. Just gently rub. Don't try to expand the area any more than necessary. I'm just going to use the 80 grit to get the get it flattened down a bit, get the top off the filler. Alright, I got the repair areas superficially knocked down with some 80 grit. You can see where that dent was right there. That's how it looks really small, but it's actually took up that much space. If you remember back at the few minutes ago in the video, I was talking about when I repaired the dent here. I have this tape on here. I'm going to put another piece of tape, take this one off. But I mentioned I wasn't going to do the bumper cover after I'd done the repair on the fender, because I'm going to use the bumper cover as my guideline by putting a fresh piece of tape on here, and then I can fill up where you can see this. It's low here. This has all been sanded up, but right here is all never got touched by the sandpaper. So these are all already low spots, and that's where the crease was right here. So I'm going to leave the tape on, or put a new piece of tape on, and then have to build this back up with a little bit more filler to get enough on there to make this nice and round and square this back up again to the bumper cover. Started to get late, so I put a fresh strip of tape around here, and then another skim coat of fine filler over that where that crease was. Now none of these repairs are deep, so there wasn't any real need to put some like heavy body filler on it. Fine filler do the job just fine here. Now this is the next morning. I covered it up all the areas with some papers in case got some dew on so it can get all wet. So back at blocking this down, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, I peeled the tape off. There was quite a bit of filler in the crack between the bumper cover and the fender. Just took a box cutter, scored it along the edge where the panel is, and now I'm taking this block, and I'm just putting it in here on its edge and working around, putting that contour back into that bottom lip of the panel. Okay, it's getting late. Got no time to spare. I got this all masked in around the repair areas. Same on the other side. Got the tires covered up. I get 3 coats of primer on these repairs, and call it a night. Yeah, it was pretty late night last night. I did get this primed. It was pretty much dark. I basically used a flashlight to see what I was doing, but had this all covered in. Got this side all primed in. 3 coats of Dominion Sure Seal on it. And this corner. And back here. So now I'm gonna pull all the paper off. I'd had this flopped over. Had this flopped over after it cured up a bit, just to keep the dew off. I see the top of the hood here's got the dew from the night on it, so I just had that flipped down so to keep it dry. I'm gonna peel all this paper off now and see what I've got. Okay, this is coming along real nice. Coming out nice and flat. Let's find any major imperfections in that part down there. But, I know there's a couple of small lines here. I've got some red glazing putty to put in that after. Alright, like I said earlier, I knew there was a couple little spots here. There's a little spot right here, and there's another little spot right here on this whole section of this repair so far. I'm going to put a little bit of red glaze in there, and then I'm going to continue on to the spots on the other side of the fender well that I haven't done yet. There's just like 2-3 little spots. Hopefully by then I can come back and finish this area up. Okay, I've gone around everywhere. I plan to put color, and all these upper areas here, they're just going to get clear. I'm hoping to just bring the paint up into here, just right here at the edge of this, where this lip is in the fender, and the rest of it will just get cleared out. So all these areas here on the top, I'm going to prep them with some, I'm going to wet sand them with some 1000 grit, and hopefully get this bagged up and get some paint on it. Yep.
I was gonna phone her, say bring me home pork chops thing. I forgot to take out her vehicle. It's got whatever. She won't answer the phone. Don't even bother. I said it's gonna be a huge fine. Don't even go there. I told her. Not that important. If it is, I'll phone you like 5 times in a row. Pull over. I was gonna say bring me home some pork chops for lunch day. I'll set them up. Yeah. On the weekend at Margarettville, as soon as I come in, you know.
Morning, Jeff. Good morning, Jeff. Oh, there's no laundry on the line.
I barely got a smell of them. On the line. Gonna come in on cardboard. Covered in
Okay, that's 2 full wet coats of clear. It's 6:30 in the evening. Did get it on a little thick right here. Got a little sag. I'll be able to wet and polish that out. And a possible little thick here, but it didn't sag. A little wet and polish would be good. There's some trash in it, of course. It's a driveway job. Looks real good though. Repair come up nice. It's, you know, there's some more crap in it. Did this here, blended. This is all blended in. If you watched, if you're watching and paying attention, I only painted here, on the top of there where I cut through, and a little stone chip up there on this side, and down into here. That blended the clear all out down into the bottom. Be able to peel this off. Shouldn't be too much of a line behind, hopefully behind that tape. When I go to lift that off, I should be lifting that off real soon. The other side was kind of the breezier side. It's got a little bit more trash in it, a few bugs, whatnot and stuff. No runs though. Still come up real fucking nice though. Pardon my French. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.